All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are looking at a high-stakes battle that is seriously shaping the future of the crypto market. We're talking about giant players placing bets so enormous they could literally move the entire industry.
And it all kicks off with this number. Get a load of this. $1.76 billion. That is the sheer size of a massive, pretty much unprecedented bet that's been placed on Bitcoin's future price.
So the big question is, what does a bet this huge actually mean? Is this some calculated, genius-level move from a seasoned pro who's seeing something the rest of us just aren't? Or is it a totally reckless gamble that could just blow up in a spectacular fashion? Okay, let's break it all down. So our story begins with this anonymous crypto whale, one of those mysterious, super deep-pocketed players. And this person has just made a move so big it sent shockwaves through the entire market. See, they're not just betting on Bitcoin to go up. No. They're betting on it hitting a very precise and honestly a very ambitious target.
Yeah, this trader is wagering a staggering 20,000 Bitcoin that by December of 2025, the price is going to be trading in a super specific high-value range. This is not your simple buy and hold strategy. This is a pure precision play.
And this is absolutely not a simple buy low, sell high situation. This whale is using a really sophisticated option strategy called a condor. The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine you're trying to land a dart in a tiny specific section of the dartboard, not just, hitting the board anywhere. It's a bet on pure precision.
So here's where it gets really clever. By buying and selling these 4 different options contracts, the trader has basically built themselves a profit zone. They don't just win if Bitcoin goes up. No. They win big only if Bitcoin lands specifically between $106,000 and $112,000 by the expiration date. It's a bet on direction and stability at a whole new level.
And it turns out this whale isn't the only one feeling optimistic. That confidence seems to be spreading among the market's biggest players. So let's take a look at another giant who's making a very similar kind of bet.
Now, this is a trader who got famous for calling the last market crash perfectly. They made nearly $200 million betting against the market. But now, in what is a pretty stunning reversal, they've completely flipped their script. They've gone long on Ethereum to the tune of $44.5 million, basically signaling that they think the bottom is in, and a new rally is just around the corner.
Okay, so on one hand, you have these whales placing massive, headline-grabbing bets on a huge rally. But on the other hand, a lot of expert analysts are looking at the exact same data and are sounding the alarm. They are not buying the hype at all.
And this really paints a starkly divided picture of the market. On one side, you've got these huge private bets from seasoned traders. And on the other, you've got some really worrying public data. Bitcoin's having its worst month of the year, and ETFs are seeing record amounts of cash flowing out.
Veteran trader Peter Brandt, he offered his famously blunt take with just a single word: meow. What he's suggesting is that this recent price recovery is nothing more than a dead cat bounce, just a temporary blip upwards in a much larger downward trend. The analytics firm Matrixport completely agrees with that cautious view. In a new report, they basically said that, yeah, the bounce was sharp, but it should be treated as a temporary move in a super volatile environment, not the beginning of a whole new bull market.
So, with these wildly conflicting opinions from giant whales and seasoned analysts, we've got to look past the personalities and just dig into the market data itself. Look for clues about which side might actually be right.
Let's start with this one key metric: 32. That's Bitcoin's current 14-day Relative Strength Index, or RSI. And let me tell you, it's a number that gets a lot of traders very, very excited.
And this number is a big deal because it brings up a critical question for traders everywhere. Has the selling just been totally overdone? Is a big reversal about to happen?
So the RSI is a tool that measures the speed and change of price movements. Think of it like a speedometer for the market. A reading below 30 often means the asset's been sold off way too hard and it's probably due for a rebound. At 32, Bitcoin is sitting right on the edge of that key oversold signal.
And on top of that, we're seeing a really dramatic shift in the options market. Just last Friday, the cost for traders to buy protection against price drops, insurance, hit a yearly high of 11%. Now, that premium has collapsed to just 4.5%. That tells us that short-term fear is just rapidly disappearing from the market.
So what this all means is that the market has hit a major turning point. We have these powerful, incredibly smart forces pulling with everything they've got in completely opposite directions. It's a massive tug-of-war.
I mean, we have a classic showdown here. On one side, you've got immense conviction backed by billions of dollars from traders who have been right before. And on the other, you have sober, data-driven analysis from respected firms screaming that this is a trap.
So that leaves us right here at a critical crossroads. On one hand, billions of dollars are betting on a massive rally. On the other, all the serious data is suggesting it's a trap. The entire market is just holding its breath. So, which way is it going to break? If you found this explainer helpful, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss your next Daily Edge. More news in our Telegram channel in the first comment. See you next time.